Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. This time, it's been a long while, it's going to be a custom duel, and I'm going to be going back with my Gate Guardian deck combined with Maze of Memories. So definitely things should be exciting because you guys want to find out whether this deck has synergy or not with my custom cards, which you're going to see right now. I'm pretty sure. Well, right now I mostly open with the cards from Maze of Memories, as well as my Guardian Jirai Gumo, which is made by me. And my opponent is actually playing a very aggravating deck. It may not seem like much, but when you take the time to read the effects, let me fast forward. So, either I take massive damage by card effects, or he prevents me from dealing damage to him, or he constantly just keeps searching spell traps, as you can read by Aragon's effect. So I assume this is either an ancient magic deck, or a deck based on referencing a show that I'm not aware of. So like you'll see here, although it's random, there is no cost using it. So it can either be from his deck or graveyard at random. And it's the card text on the card is massive. Like jeez, even I literally ignored some of the stuff. It was hard for me to understand, like to comprehend everything that this card is capable of. And there are times where I couldn't even I couldn't even entirely read the effect because it just seemed too long. Seriously, just by the paragraphs, the number of text. And but this is only the beginning. This is the first effect. This is not compared to the last three effects because I have no clue what this card is capable of. So although it's random, although it deals with ancient magic specifically, at the same time this duel just turned into something else, to the unexpected. So and became like a massive drain. Honestly, it's a massive outcome when you watch throughout this entire duel what's gonna happen. So like number of searches, it's very complicated, very confusing, very complex, because you have to be sure to carefully read before you do anything, because his cards have unimaginable abilities. Those are effects that people need to pay attention for. So because yeah, a lot of times you want to end the opponent as quickly as possible. That's what Yu-Gi-Oh is about. But his cards can easily catch you off guard. So as of right now, I picked the card I just chose happened to be Absorption. But one thing I'm curious. This seems like actually a completely unfair. He should have said with different names. That's the fact that honestly doesn't make any sense to me. So it's basically the same card regardless, because from his deck. Okay, from deck or graveyard. I thought it was like from deck and or graveyard. Okay, now I read it carefully. Now I understand. So you know what I mean by the amount of text he has. You can get confused yourself either as well, because you don't want to have to go through all the trouble of just realizing how his problem cards solving text even works. So because it isn't it seems legit, but it's just too much to read. And like I said, my deck is based on support for the Gate Guardian, even though the support in the TCG by Konami came out after my support that I made for them, because people are always waiting for Gate Guardians to have new support, so to become relevant to the point where they can actually compete and make a competitive scene. So obviously I place Sangha, which is Sangha of the Thunder, from my deck to the Spell Chopper Zone, thanks to Heavy Tank, and I pop Ujirai Gumo, which is the Guardian monster. I ask if he has a response, and this is where I'm able to search with Jirai Gumo for Guardian Labyrinth. As you see about what's about to happen right now, I'm going to use Guardian Labyrinth, special summon either Kazijin, Sangha, or Sujin from my deck or graveyard, or banish them, including hand as well. So Kazu's effect will activate, allowing me to special summon Sangha from my grave. I'll use Sanga's effect to special summon Core Sky Blaster from my hand. And I'll banish the two to special summon Gate Guardian of Thunder Wind. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Thunder and Wind, for those who may be confused by pronunciation. I kind of caught my tongue because I was about to sneeze, so. And then obviously, because Thunder Wind allows me to switch to my very own card, Guardian Labyrinth. And you can just already tell how much synergy they have. Even I'm surprised as well, so. I'm going to go for a Link 2 for Nightmare Phoenix, discarding double attack Wind and Thunder, allowing me to pop his face down, Absorption. Alright, let's continue. And then I'm going to activate another Guardian Labyrinth. Now I'm supposed to suffer my deck again for Sui. As you see right now, I retrieve all the Gate Guardian pieces with ease with just one card. And I can go ahead for another Fusion Summon as well, or go for a search. I'm waiting for the appropriate search, so I'll use double attack and Wind, Thunder, pop a card on the field. But then, like I said, this is where things get very confusing, because the amount of text, you lose track of it, honestly. So Aragon managed to protect itself by, I assume, reducing his attack points by 500. So he won't be sent to the graveyard this turn thanks to his effect, but then with life energy, it nullifies the effect. So as you can read by the effect, even though I find it to be pretty confusing. And like I said, I'm going to proceed with the Fusion Summon and go into Water and Thunder. Water and Thunder's effect makes Aragon's attack 0. But again, let's proceed. Let's go into Pseudocode. So he's supposed to do, he can't because he has no monsters. He can't summon any number of monsters since he has no monsters in grave. And then I'm going to use Core Skyblast effect. I'm supposed to summon a token for each of my banished monsters, -1. And then I'm going to go ahead, summon Borreload Savage Dragon, and then target Phoenix from my grave, equip it to him, and he is able to negate. Same thing with Aragon, now he can protect himself, but then Ancient Magic Life Energy, reduce it, and it's going to repeat the same process. Watch. Same thing, over and over. Eventually, yes, it will be destroyed now since he has no counters. During the phase, Draguma's effect will activate. Again, this is going to be a long duel. I retrieve my heavy tank from grave. Let's fast forward. So he's going to proceed with his monsters. He's supposed to summon Sapphira because he controls Aragon. He can, so he's going to use Ancient Magic. But either way, I'm going to negate with Borreload because considering this card seems very abusable in a way where if I don't pay attention, I may end up losing one monster. Because if you read the last effect, I think it only resolves during the end phase or during my turn, unless he controls True Name, so he can control one monster on my field. On top of that, it is treated as a villager monster on top, or he can deal damage equal to the equipped monster's attack, which is crazy. So I feel like negating was definitely the right solution. So he'll normal summon Elf Assassin, and then they're gonna use the same annoying effects that I mentioned. They pretty much, these three have the same effects that I talked about. The first effect, reveal 2, and then I pick randomly. So I'm not gonna go through all that trouble. So forget it. They do the same thing, literally. So not even much to explain. They have the very similar first effect. Like in itself is insane. Although it's once per turn, it should be hard once per turn, if anything. So it would have been way more broken if said deck and or graveyard, so he can choose from his deck and his graveyard during that once per turn. During that turn, just being able to enable the same 2 cards, and it wouldn't have any restriction because you're still adding this. You basically 100% get the same card. You 100% get to add the same card, whether it's from your deck and or graveyard, because it's not 2 random cards. It's 2 regular Ancient Magic Spell Trap cards without specifying. So it's any of them, regardless of the name. So, which in itself, it needs to be changed, if any, so just to make the deck less of a hindrance, which it's too much of a hindrance. So it's just like that means like there would be no point to this effect because you still get the card regardless, even though it's supposed to be random. Because if you're adding from your deck and a graded, what's the point? It makes no sense. So either way, it's the same effect. I'm not gonna waste my time waiting to see what he adds. We all should be aware of. I'll just pick whatever. So fine by me. And I'm just guessing has the same effect. He's going for the same thing. Yeah, he's going for the same thing. Yeah, screw it. I'm not gonna waste my time doing this. So, and then he's gonna pop Pseudo Kotaker with his Elf Assassin, but it can't attack this turn. And during BP, I'm gonna use Water and Thunder's effect to make his attack 0 until the end phase. It's fine. And then he somehow AFK'd by mistake. Oh, his computer crashed, which is weird in my opinion still. He loses 1800, but I think he's going to regain it for some reason. He's going to go into main phase 2. He sets 3 and he passes. So it's my turn. I'm going to use the effect of Wind and Thunder. And these turns are very long. For a long duel, you would expect there to be more turns, but that just shows how much the game has been power crept. So let us continue. Can use Water and Thunder's effect again. See if he will respond with anything. Yep. But it just so his effect is twice per turn. But he says it has to be off the chain the next time activates Water and Thunder's effect. So fine by me. Whatever. Okay. I'm gonna search Guardian Gate. And so how Guardian Gate works, I banish Kazejin or Suijin or as well as Sangha from my grave. I special summon a monster from my grave or banish them with a different name, which is how I mentioned summon Pseudo Kotaker. So I'm gonna go link 3, and I'm gonna shuffle one of his face down cards. Then I'm play Prey of the Jirai Gumo to pop his Aragon, but he's gonna negate. He's gonna prevent that by me use Borrowsoul's effect. But and then it's destroyed. Then I'm gonna play Fusion Deployment. So all of Borreload, Savage Dragon's counters are gone. And I'm gonna go for Sui, use Sui's effect. As you pretty much noticed, especially summon one of my bench level 4 lore monsters. And then use Sanga's effect, triggering Sui to search for Guardian Jirai Gumo. Guardian Jirai Gumo's effect activates, allowing me to pop one of my monsters, and I get to search. I'm going to go into Guardian Labyrinth Tank. Guardian Labyrinth Tank effects activate, allowing me to search for a double attack Wind and Thunder, sorry. But before I do that, because I can't even actually activate my mistake, because I don't control Gate Guardian monster on my field. So I'm using Pseudo Kotaker's effect, so that's when I'll be able to activate Wind and Thunder. Just fine by me, so then I'm gonna go straight into Axe Kotaker. And this duel is not over yet. Unfortunately I don't manage to kill him, so use Axe Kotaker's effect, banishing my light monster, popping his face down, which is an equip card. Do the same thing, and pop his second face down, so he has no back row. And then I'm waiting to activate Wind and Thunder, which will pop Aragon, and then he's going to chain using its effect, which is so annoying. So he still managed to survive and managed to proceed with this duel, as well as just be able to overcome the pressure of my board presence. And still, even with the field, I can't manage to kill him. So I should is really no. And to be honest, I should try to be able to defeat him this turn. There shouldn't be a reason why I shouldn't, because of how the effort, the amount of monsters, the amount of plays I'm making this turn. It doesn't justify building a broken deck or preventing the opponent from playing. But either way, I'm going to search for Sui. Using Sui's effect for Bountiful Charity, which is any spell, as long as I tribute either Sangha, Sui, or Kaze. And I'm going to draw 5, but I'm going to have to take 1,000 because I have more than 5k life points, and I'm forced to discard 3 cards, which is fine by me. So I'll use Guardian Labyrinth's effect. As you see right now, this is going to be a very long duel, so Don't be surprised right now. Already past 15 minutes. Then I'm going to banish to go to another fusion summon for a Gate Guardian of Wind and Water. And he still manages to live. His deck is very insufferable, though. It is broken in a way. The only difference is that it's different from other builds. That it doesn't spam a bunch of monsters to say that you can't play Yuga. It's either that you take a lot of damage, or it prevents their monsters from being destroyed. They can constantly add spell and traps with use for ancient magic. So in a way, it is beneficial, but it does not have the deficit where you just have to play all these certain number of monsters or like floodgates for the deck to be that much of a broken strategy. So, because with this field, you would think I should win this turn, but again, because he just managed to build cards that heavily rely on each other, that either rely less on cost as well as just being able to like stall as much as possible, because I don't think people like stall decks, but it's not like I can't attack him, just that it's just very complicated in how I'm gonna beat his monsters, because there you have this one card that just prevents stuff from leaving the field. So again, he's gonna summon the Sapphire that I returned with the Security Dragon. It's gonna be the same process that you see right now. Basically, instead he's gonna attack. I'm gonna use Water and Thunder's effect either way. So when he on attack declaration on my Gate Guardian monster, again, it only works on during the chain, but when the Water's effect activates, Water Thunder's effect activates. Sorry, I get confused with the names. That's fine. It is once per turn. Instead of Imperm, main phase 2, I accidentally misclicked on Imperm, so I'm just gonna use Appaloosa's effect by removing her counters. So I'm waiting. So I'm pretty sure I used all the counters right now. So during my draw phase is really insane. Thanks to Paradox Gate Guardian Gate, I'm allowed to draw one card depending on if I have Kazejin or Suijin or Sangha of the Thunder in my grave or banished. I draw one if I have one for each one that's in my grave. As you see right now, I have 6 cards in hand. But I think the only issue is I forgot to shuffle. I was supposed to shuffle one card from my monster from my graveyard banished on, which was clearly heavily a misplay. It wasn't even a misplay, it was a wrap up, but I just didn't take the time to because of the amount of peer pressure that I have right now. So, and I was just heavily so confused by his cards that it got me distracted of my own cards as well. So because I couldn't read everything, that I just want to continue with this duel to see how it would turn out at the end. So right now we're just waiting on the play. I'm gonna be going for my link. Right now I'm already short in my extra deck, so I'm gonna try to use my extra deck as immediately as possible. Try to make the most of it, considering how much I have left at the most and my minimum. So what I mean at the minimum, I want to make the most out of the least amount of monsters I have in my extra deck. So I gotta be careful as to not try to like basically cost myself this game. So because of the amount of summons, the amount of draw power, the amount of like cards I managed to play, so this is probably not my only chance. So I probably had enough chance to do whatever I can. So this duel should end in my favor either way. So I want to be careful. Like I said, I want to be careful with my extra deck, and 100% be careful as to how I use it, because if I cough up one of my monsters from my extra deck, if I don't carefully use their effects, or if I misplay then I won't have the lack of extra monsters will really cut down on my options. And then this duel, he will probably make short of this duel if I have no response with any of the cards from a hand or field. So I want to make the most out of the cards in my deck so that I have a chance in trying to possibly defeat my opponent, because I feel the cards in the deck or will make this deck viable. So as you see right now, I'm going to use Guardian while Shadow Boost effect. But even if I don't have my extra deck, I still have Paradox Guardian Gate. So one of the monsters that I lost that was summoned from this, I can revive them just by simply banishing the appropriate monsters from my gift special summon one of them. So if they don't manage to get rid of Paradox Guardian Gate, it would be an endless battle between me and him. So, but because when I mean like literally endless battle, he can still retrieve his ancient magic spell traps with his monsters. Because it doesn't just apply deck plus to graveyard as well. So if he has anything grave, he'll just try and do whatever he can to make as much of a comeback as quickly as possible. And sorry if I'm having trouble like getting my facts straight, but anyways, it's to keep you guys entertained, because even I was literally nervous. I was literally nervous while in the midst of this duel. So because I have nothing, I have he's doing the unexpected. I'm not highly like sure what his cards are capable of, because I don't know the archetype. So in a way, it puts me at a loss of words, and that's why I'm trying to be careful what I do, because he could have made a card from a hand, field, or graveyard that I'm not worried about, or just end me the moment I attack or I do something, whether it's activate a card effect and say it's pretty much game, and without him dealing any battle damage. So he could have a card that could end me. So that's what I'm trying to be wary of. So I would have probably been angry still. You literally play a card that could just single-handedly kill the opponent without having to do any battle damage, or like if it's depending on the number of cards on my field, then maybe it would probably have a reasonable effect, maybe not too broken. So I'm just confirming with my opponent how my card works. So I'm letting you know that Borisov's actually 3750 because he halved his Saphira's attack, and Saphira has attacked as well, so he's basically take 3k, but instead I'm gonna take the damage thanks to Sharp, and that's the point I'm trying to make with Reflect. So whenever I deal damage to him, I'm gonna take the damage for the rest of this turn. So I'm gonna just leave it at that, because Barrier Reflect is still in play, so I can't attack them this turn. So either I'm gonna play Bountiful Charity, I don't pay the cost of taking 1,000, and I'm forced to discard 3 cards. So let's just get straight to the duel. Jaragumo's effect activates. Now he's supposed to summon Water and Thunder, and he's gonna normal summon Aragon, same process. And he's going for Sapphire again. I'm gonna negate. So what I had to do was negate Sapphire's effect using the Dark Labyrinth, which I said. Either way, it was a very tough tool. I let him know that. And then Bandman888 plans to eventually try to edit this deck and try to find ways whether he can make the deck more viable, even though it's already good. What are some changes that I need to make? Maybe fix the card decks. Try to be specific with the cards so they make sense, so that it doesn't confuse the opponent, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of reading. You're going to have to do a lottery if you want to play against this deck. And it's going to be very troublesome. Like, Konami wouldn't print this, to be real. So, and the artwork, lack of effort. It didn't really take any thought. It just seems like a bunch of copy and paste art that he chose. And not to say that I have an issue with the guy. Like, maybe in the future he could maybe update the artwork a bit and maybe make the deck seem relatable. But because it does not compare to my Geek Gardens, I had to take the time and effort to see which cards if they would not only synergize, if they look good together. And I'm surprised. I feel like my custom cards really succeed with the Gate cards from Case of Maze and Memories. And I even suggested whether Konami should print my cards. Just that's just my suggestion. Like not like it's gonna ever exist because it's a fantasy deck, and maybe when if push comes to shove, people want to try them out. You can go ahead on Dueling Books. So, but like I said, I did say that this was gonna be a long duel, so I'll probably have to end this here. Again, hope you guys enjoy the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe, and thank you.